The author that you're referencing is Andrew Zolli, and he wrote a book called Resilience, Why Things Bounce Back. I highly, highly recommend it. He did an analysis of a wide variety of resilient people and resilient organizations. And he found 3 common elements that were present in those people and systems that persisted over time. The first one was this idea of regeneration. What are the kind of slow-moving, deep investments that we can make that return and feed back to the system or to the individual and help it to flourish, to replenish the well? Those sorts of things are like education, right? It's your health. It is social bonds, it's community, things that just take time, but are really a foundational layer that support the system and the individual. The second thing is learning. How do we sense what is happening in the environment? How do we instrument our tools so that we get the right feedback loops that inform us and what we're doing, the decisions that we want to make? How do we listen for change or maybe even signs of danger? How do we take that knowledge and make decisions from it? It's not just this abstract intellectual thing, but incorporate it into the decisions that we make in our own personal lives, in the leadership of organizations, and et cetera. And then the third basket is preparedness. It's about having resources around you, whether those are physical, hard resources, or if they're soft resources like your community. But it is about having some stuff around you to be able to improvise. And those are the 3 things that, in a very, very, very high level, persists in individuals and organizations over time. And if I were to take it just a little bit further, one of the things that really struck me about this moment is just the profound uncertainty that we live in. There is so much happening so fast on so many different scales in so many different systems. It's literally impossible to track. The world is just such a complex place, you know. And this uncertainty almost feels like the moment that we're living in. You know, in the work that we have done and that Commonweal has been engaged in, you know, sometimes we call this moment a polycrisis, which is the confluence of several different crises coming together, amplifying, creating greater shocks with greater frequency. Some of our colleagues call it the great unraveling, the great simplification, and many, many other terms. And for me, one of the themes that thread through all of those is uncertainty. And I think that what that means for me personally is thinking about how we can adapt and stay flexible and expand our adaptive capacity to be able to respond to things that we can't necessarily anticipate. And when I look at Andrew Zolli's 3 buckets, each of those 3 things, regeneration, learning, and preparedness, each of those 3 things has something to contribute to the tool bag of things that we can use and improvise in the moment in order to adapt to whatever is happening in our lives.